Hello everyone. Jack Chambers, the Minister for Public Expenditure, has been in the hot seat in Dáil Éireann over the past couple of days, taking leaders' questions from the so-called opposition. Now, of course, Martin is on his way to Brazil to attend the climate conference, COP30, to meet up with many of his globalist friends. But while he is travelling away, Chambers has been propelled into the hot seat. And of course, none of the questions that he was asked over the past few days is what the topic of this video is about, because he also revealed something that's very, very important towards a bigger plan that's at play right across Ireland and throughout the European Union also. He spoke around the digital wallet of life, digital identification. I've spoken in a number of videos about the European Union migration and asylum pact and the forwarding of digital identification in regards to that piece of legislation, which is going to be introduced to Irish legislation by the middle of 2026. But this specifically relates to the European Union Digital Services Framework. Now, what's important around this is that he claimed that this would bring key public services online by 2030. And this would include key milestones for people's lives, such as starting school, learning to drive, starting a business, looking for a job, going to college or university, becoming a parent, or retiring. And of course, it's all for all of our convenience, all easier to manage and access for citizens. Where have we heard this before? The state, when they're proclaiming to care for their citizens, we always know we have to dig deeper in their pathetic claims for caring for people. Of course, this is a country where we have nearly 1 million people on hospital waiting lists, over 16,000 people in so-called emergency accommodation, and not to mention the hundreds of thousands of people who are in poverty in Ireland. 1 in 5 children are in poverty. So don't fall for any of their nonsense about making your life easier and better. This is about control. And the goal of this, according to Chambers, is to reduce the burden and improve the quality of life for citizens. Where have we heard this before? Now, what's interesting is that they're looking at preparing a public services digital transformation fund. That's interesting, isn't it? They're going to move this over the next number of months in terms of distributing public money towards this fund, heading towards the transformation of the digital wallet stroke digital identification. But this is nothing new. As I said, this comes from the European Union Digital ID Framework. And back in 2024, Pascal Donoghue, the Minister for Finance and of course the head of the Eurogroup, who's been pushing through the digital currency, spoke about a life events programme and introducing a digital wallet which would include personal government documents and also secure personal documents, as I said, and this is going to be available through an app downloaded onto people's mobiles. But of course, this is happening right across the European Union, and the European Commission have addressed this by saying they want one wallet to all its citizens by the end of 2026. That's to prove who they are and also to safely store, share, and sign documents. Here we go, digital ID being fast tracked through the system in the premise of your security, your safety, your convenience, and for your basic needs to be met. And interestingly enough, this will be linked to bank accounts, jobs, universities. Keir Starmer or anyone, most recently we've seen the pushback against digital identification through Britain, and hopefully that will start in Ireland as well as more people become aware of what their plans are. So as they speak to speed, security, convenience, always look at really what's at play. This is a drive towards digital identification that they're looking to fast track through over the next number of months in terms of the transformation fund that they're setting up in Ireland. And already they've looked for a pilot project to be set up in terms of public sector employees. But of course, we have to see how this develops. over the next number of weeks and months as well. So it is important now to start speaking out to what's taking place in Ireland, to start noticing what's taking place, because it's important. This won't be covered by the mainstream media. It wasn't covered by any of the questions from the so-called opposition in Dáil Éireann. And of course, it will be brushed under the carpet until it's introduced over the next number of months into next year. And this is interesting. This is separate to what's taking place with the EU Migration and Asylum Pact in terms of the safety of European citizens, and to look after the interests of those at the very top of society. It's like a global cult, essentially, that's taking place right in front of our eyes. And all you have is lapdogs here in Ireland. They're all too willing to implement a globalist agenda right in front of all of our eyes. So be aware of what's taking place, share my videos, and also thanks so much for everybody who continues to support my videos by commenting, by inviting your friends to like my page, and I'm very grateful for everybody who likes my channel also. So from Dublin today, Slán go fóill. Take care.